Welcome everybody to the first workout Wednesday. We're going to do arms today, and again, this is basically just pointers and tips for beginners, for at-home people, anybody that's looking to get into fitness. This isn't anything extravagant, not a personal trainer, not a bodybuilder, anything like that. Just help, free help on the internet with some video tutorials. Anyways, let's jump right into it. So for my warm-ups, what I do, if you have any type of cable machine, that's awesome, that'll work best. Otherwise you can grab light dumbbells, but you just want to start by getting the blood flowing into the muscles. These are going to be 2 sets of anywhere from 20 to 25. Lightweight, you don't want to be fatigued at the end of this at all. It's just to get the blood flowing and warming up those muscles so you can have a better workout and a better pump. Like I said, if you can get a cable machine for cable rows, that's just my favorite. That's my personal favorite. Otherwise, light dumbbells are fine, but you really want to focus on bringing the pinkies to the ceiling on your contraction. You're not out here doing this. You're not behind you with your elbows way back. Elbows are down to your side, and you're going to hug yourself. And really focus on that contraction up top. You're going to feel it in the short head of your bicep. Pinkies to the ceiling. Nice, controlled, easy movements. 20 to 25 for 2 sets. So now for the triceps, we're going to do the same thing. Cable pushdowns, straight bar, angled bar, easy bar, ropes, whatever you have. Lightweight, 2 sets, 20 to 25. And you're only resting 30 to 60 seconds between these, because again, it's not a major fatigue workout. Just want the blood pumping. Just give yourself enough to regenerate that ATP, give your muscles some energy back, and then go for it again. This one, we're not out here. There is a variation of tricep pushdown where you're out like this. We're not focusing on that. We're just going to keep it by our body. Little bend in the knees, little hinge at the hip, and you can engage your core if you want, but the weight shouldn't be heavy enough to have to even worry about that. 20 to 25, nice controlled motions for 2 sets. Okay, so now that we've finished with our warm-ups, we're going to move on to one of my favorite bicep exercises, the straight barbell bicep curl. It's a very basic movement. It's isolation type movement that focuses primarily on the short head of the bicep. That's what gives you that nice little lump in your arm, in your bicep. We're going to do this anywhere from 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 12. That for me is kind of my magic number for building mass while maintaining the strength. And you're going to get a good pump at the end of it. So for these, you're going to take a grip that's a pretty neutral grip where your arms fall just about shoulder width apart. You're going to come up with a straight back. Spread your stance out. That's your foundation. You got to have good foundation. Just about shoulder width apart. Elbows to your side. You can come out in front of your obliques just a little bit, and then you're really going to isolate that motion and feel that contraction in the bicep. We're not doing this. You see a lot of guys at the gym curling 135 pounds, but all they're doing is giving it momentum to get the bar. That's not what we're doing here. Nice isolation movement, solid contraction. Again, you want to focus on the pinkies going towards the ceiling and loose wrists. We're not curling like that. Nice loose bent wrist. And then you're gonna rest 60 seconds between each set, give or take, depending on how you feel the pump in your arms. Okay, so when I'm doing arms, I alternate between bicep and tricep. That gives a bicep time to recover, build ATP. That's the fuel, so to say, for your muscles when you're working out. I alternate between them. So I'll go from a bicep exercise to a tricep exercise, back to a bicep, back to a tricep, so forth. So we're gonna move on to skull crushers. These are a really good engagement and stabilizer type of workout. You're gonna get a lot of activation in the tricep itself, but you're also gonna get a lot of activation in your stabilizer muscles in your shoulder, pec, even your upper back. Again, 3 sets, anywhere from 8 to 12, with about a 60-second rest between each set. So for me, with the shoulder injury that I have, if you have an adjustable bench and you have injuries, or you notice that it starts to put too much stress into your shoulders when you're doing this, a little bit of an incline is gonna help a lot. That's gonna help drive the force through your body instead of directly into your shoulders, and you will notice a major difference in how it works. This slight incline isn't gonna affect the tricep itself. It's not gonna change the dynamics of the workout. It's just gonna change where the load is being placed in your body versus just your shoulders. So you're gonna lean back flat on your bench. Tuck your shoulder blades back a little bit if you can. You wanna come straight up with your dumbbells, down to 90 or past. It's okay if your elbows come forward a little bit, and don't lock out all the way at the top. That's gonna put too much stress into your shoulders. Back easy and up. The other thing is you don't wanna just sit here and rest down at the bottom. That puts too much pressure on joints and tendons and ligaments, and you're gonna be hurting for the wrong reasons. The other thing that you want to focus on is that you allow your elbows to naturally track, meaning your elbows aren't in here, your elbows aren't out here. They're going to naturally track where the joint feels comfortable itself to complete this motion. So now for the next bicep workout, preacher curls. When done right, they work really good. But the issue is a lot of times they're not done correctly. And it's very simple to not do them correctly. If you have an adjustable bench, awesome. If you have a preacher curl bar or a preacher curl pad, even better. So now, where a lot of people go wrong with this motion is they get themselves like this, where their shoulder, elbow, and wrist aren't lined up in a straight line. And then they end up pulling like this or out here. That's gonna take away from the isolation of the bicep. You're really gonna feel this here and partially down into the actual elbow. This is a major contraction of the short head of the bicep. So what you wanna do is get yourself set up. Your elbow is gonna drive into the pad every time you contract. And if you're too high or the angle's not good enough, all you've gotta do is just put your arm underneath your armpit, nice sweaty armpit, get it all over your hand, whatever, it doesn't matter. But you need to focus on the elbow, shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist staying in a nice straight line and staying in line with each other when you're making that contraction. You want to bring your wrist to your shoulder. That's going to take out the front delt and really blast your bicep. 3 sets of 8 to 12 with each arm. You're going to alternate arms on this. And another thing to point out, you don't want to drop the weight down. You don't want to lose all of that tension. You want to keep tension on that. Then you're going to drive the elbow into the pad. That's going to take that front delt out of the equation. And then just alternate to the left arm. Drive the elbow into the pad. Like always, with every bicep workout that we're doing so far, rotate that pinky to the sky just a little bit. Make a point of it too, that this is another loose wrist bicep curl. We don't want to activate the forearm. When you start to tense that wrist and keep it straight and locked, you're going to activate the forearm with that. We don't want that. We want to focus solely on the bicep. All right, so moving on to the next tricep exercise is tricep kickbacks. You can do this on the bench, or you can do this flat on the ground. It's easier on the bench, because that way you just have less or more room from your body to the ground, and you'll see why. So with this exercise, you're going to set yourself up, and you want a nice neutral spine. Flat spine, flat head, you're not looking up, your head's not cranked down. Nice solid base. And all you're doing is bringing your arm up to your side at 90 degrees, and you're holding it there, and you're just kicking back. You're really going to feel that engagement in the tricep, right at full extension. And you don't want to come all the way back to this. Again, keeping tension on that. Minor rotation to try and bring the pinky to the floor this time. Back to just before you relieve all the tension in the tricep. Alternate arms, 3 sets, 8 to 12, each arm, 30 to 60 second rest between. All right, so now that we're reaching the end of the workout, I like to do burnout sets. Burnout set for the biceps, the burnout set for the triceps. This one, I actually got from somebody online, not gonna lie. His name's Derek Whita. If you don't follow him, go follow him. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Awesome guy. But he calls this one Armageddon. And I've been doing it every single arm workout since I saw the video, I don't know, probably 7 years ago, 6 years ago or so. I absolutely love this for a finisher workout for arm day. It gets you a massive pump and it makes you feel good because it's really hard to take your shirt off after the gym when you do this. So you're gonna get yourself 3 sets of dumbbells. I do them in drops of 10-pound increments, so I have 30s, 20s, and 10s. You're going to start with the 30s and do 12 hammer curls. Immediately when you finish that, you're going to jump down to the 20s and do 12 gladiator curls. Immediately when you finish that, jump down to the 10s and do 10 dumbbell curls. You're going to take about 60-second rest and repeat that for 3 sets. Here we go. The first set always seems easy until you get down to those 10 pounds and you feel super weak. So gladiator curls, for those that don't know, is a mix between like a hammer curl and a dumbbell curl, and you're going to come across your chest like gladiator banging his shield. So with these ones, your elbows are going to swing out quite a bit so you can make it across. And that's fine. You just want to focus on the contraction as you're coming up with that. And it's 12 each arm. So like with the gladiator curls, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 1, 2, 2. 12 each arm. Give yourself a rest, reset, repeat it 2 more times. By the third set, you should have a really hard time picking those 10-pound weights up. Really hard time. If you fail, that's fine. Shake out your arms a little bit, but get the reps in. Just get the reps in. If you got to set it down twice in the middle of your set, that's fine. Just make sure you get your reps in. Do 12. I always stick with 12. It's a good number. You're miserable by the end of it. Alright, once you finish the bicep burnout, we're going to move on to the tricep burnout. So you can vary between 2 of them. That's what I normally do anyways. Between the cable tricep extensions, tricep pushdowns, or dumbbell tricep extensions. If you don't have a cable machine, this is just as viable an option. I'll show you this first, and then I'll show you the cable pushdowns. So sit on a chair, a bench, whatever. You just don't want anything up behind your head. Take one weight, single weight, and you're going to lock your hands underneath it like that. Straight arms. Arms as straight as you can. Back straight, core engaged. Up. You're not bringing it here. You're going to stay just short of lockup. You don't want to think of it as a pulling over motion, but more of a pushing. You're going to drive through your palms and push that weight straight up. So with these workouts, I don't care the weight you use. I don't care if you drop weight, if you add weight, but you want to get 100 reps. This isn't 10 sets of 10. You're not taking a break. You're going to pause with, I call it like 1 left in the tank. When you have 1 left in you, stop and drop the weight, and then keep pushing them out. You don't necessarily want to go to failure on this. But again, when you feel like you can do 1, maybe 2 more, drop your weight down, crank out as many as you can, then continue on until you feel like you only got 1 or 2 left in you, drop the weight again, so on and so forth, until you get to 100 reps. You want to keep this controlled still. You don't want to be flailing around, throwing your arms down, using your shoulders, using your delts. You want to keep it controlled. This is a tricep workout, not a full body workout. So you can either do the overhead dumbbell extensions or the cable push downs. Now with these, you're going to start out a little heavier weight. Try to tuck your shoulders back, arms at your side, hinge at the hips, a nice wide stance, and you're pushing that down. You want to control the descent and stop just shy of lockout. Feel like you can do one or two more. Come over and drop the weight. Back at it. You should really feel your core engaging on this because it's what's holding your hip hinge. Well, that concludes it for the first workout Wednesday. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click that notification button so you can see when the next workout Wednesday video comes out. Watch it right away. Get nice and healthy. If you guys have any questions or want to see me do anything else, comment, let me know. Give me some feedback. Again, this is the first time doing this video. We got a lot of learning, a lot of processes to go through. Let me know what you guys want to see. We'll work the best we can to get you guys what you want to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I almost forgot to give the special shout out to lovely little Brandy for holding the camera today. She didn't want to, but she did it because she loves me. So thanks, Brandy. Hopefully she'll be holding the camera for me from here on out because it's really hard to do that by yourself. Thanks, honey. I love you. That's all. That's going in the video.
What was that?